Today's Saturday, November 1st. I'm hunting public land in Wisconsin, and we had a big cold front finally move through, pushed the temperatures down to about 20 degrees last night, bunch of frost on the ground. Dead calm, quiet, just a perfect day to be out for the start of the rut. Meep. Meep. Right away in the morning, I could hear chasing going around. I could hear a buck grunt. I could hear him growl. And eventually they looped back around, and I got to look at the buck, and he wasn't quite what I'm looking for at this point in the season. But my freezer is empty, so I said if that doe comes within range, I'm going to take a shot at her. And then she finally gave me the shot. It sounded like to my ear that I hit it, but it did look low, and I looked at the footage and I couldn't really tell on the small LCD screen. So I'm going to have to get down and go look at the arrow. So I'll do that in about 15 minutes. Well, I'm set up this morning a little bit later than I would have liked. I'm hunting on a small piece of private land right now in Minnesota, and this is the same spot where I killed a 10-pointer back in 2011. And Kenny tells me last night, I put a stand up in that tree that you shot your buck out of, and it should still be there unless it got stolen. So I figured to be safe, I'd bring my stand in, and it was a good thing I did, because that stand that he had set up was just loud as can be with this fresh snow, and it's about 20 degrees right now. I couldn't even wiggle on the seat without it creaking and popping. So I took about an extra half an hour, and I got set up in this big, thick evergreen. I'm only about 15 yards away from that original tree, but it was definitely, I'm hoping, worth the effort. So the weather right now is just gorgeous. I mean, might be a little bit nicer if it wasn't so sunny, but this is almost the same conditions that I killed my 10-pointer 2 years ago. West wind coming out of the pine thicket, bright sun, and right in the heat of the rut. Yesterday was pretty uneventful, so I'm hoping that today brings some action. It's now about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Still haven't seen anything yet today, which has been kind of surprising. The weather hasn't been that bad. It's been cold, but not that windy. And we're predicted to get a really big snow tomorrow, up to a foot in the Twin Cities and probably around 6 inches around here. So I'm hoping that that front coming in might get these deer up on their feet and moving before dark. Alright, it's been about a half an hour since I shot that buck, and I just walked down here. He was standing about 40 yards, and I have a blood trail, so I'm pretty excited right now. There he is. Yes. It feels pretty nice to finally get a buck on the ground, and it's always nice when you get him on opening morning. Pretty efficient on time, I'd say. You know, he's not the biggest buck in the woods, but I made a decision this week that I was going to buy a rifle tag in Wisconsin, and I wasn't going to be picky. I just wanted to fill the freezer, and I got to say, because of that, I'm pretty happy with this guy. I've already got my stand taken down, so now it's just a matter of tagging him, gutting him, and dragging him back to the truck. Make sure to check out the DIY Sportsman website for more content on hunting, fishing gear, and how-tos, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.